Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are you all doing today? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Johnny No Cash, and you are listening and watching, or both, to Life with Johnny No Cash. And it is good to be back, sitting in front of the mic, chatting with you guys. I got so much shit to talk about today. It has been a long time since the last episode, and I'm going to talk in depth about that, where I've been at mentally, physically, what I've been doing with my life, the transition between van life and trailer life, and not just that, but kind of my relationship with the internet and being online and how I've been putting myself out there. I want to talk in depth about that as well. But first, before anything, I got to talk about the elephant in the room. If you are watching this, there's a huge color balance difference between each camera. I don't know how to fucking fix it, okay? I've gone into my editing software and I've troubleshot the shit out of it. And I cannot figure out how to balance the two the colors properly. Don't worry. I've seen tutorials. I can't figure it out. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, what, there's something fucking off. There's something really weird about this. It's the color. Okay. I'm just addressing that right now. So please bear with it. I'll try and make the audio side of this as entertaining as humanly possible. So it has been so long since we've done an episode. And like I said, we're doing now the episode for the very first time inside the trailer. And to everybody who has watched the previous episode, you could only watch it. I actually gave you a tour at the very end of that episode. So to everybody who watches or listens to the very end, thank you. So you guys have already seen what the trailer looks like inside and out. And if you haven't seen it already, go on over. It's the last episode that I uploaded. You will see a tour of the old trailer at the very tail end of the episode. So go on over there and check it out. And, man, there's been a lot going on. I've been so much so that it's been really difficult figuring out how to kind of start and do this episode. So I'm just going to have a smorgasbord, charcuterie fucking platter of shit that I'm going to cover today. And I hope you enjoy it. So grab yourself a chicken wing, get yourself a fucking beer, a whiskey, a joint, a smoke. I don't give a fuck. Get yourself a glass of ice water, bing shui, as they say in Mandarin. And let's sit down and have a chat. Let's get into it. I'm living in a van playing Outlaw tunes. Life with Johnny No Cash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Life with Johnny No Cash. Where I go, how the fuck I'll know I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans. So I originally I wanted to do this podcast outside. I had everything set up. I probably recorded about 10 minutes into it. And for some reason, my spidey senses were tingling. And I went and checked the camera, and it had overheated. It actually shut down both cameras. So the only if I had to finish the podcast, if I had to finish the recording, it would have just been audio. So, sometimes you got to trust your gut. Sometimes it's that intuition that you have, and you're like, something's off. And I'm glad I did, because this is a one take. I don't edit this like a lot of other content creators. I do this in one fucking breath, one massive 30-minute monologue. And it's happened before where I've finished an entire episode and realized that something crapped out. Oh, is it a pain in the ass? And it's so frustrating having to redo it and try and capture the energy that you had in the previous takes. So I moved it all inside, and this is my back room. I know, from the two angles, you can't really see much, but this is the back room. And like I said, head on over to the last episode. The last 5 minutes, I think, you'll see a tour of the old trailer. Now, I'll say, man, it's been wildly different living in a van to living in a trailer. A trailer, holy shit. I've just been noticing so many, faults with this structure the more and more, I live in it. And, fuck that guy who sold me this thing. Now, you could also say fuck you for not doing a proper inspection. You're absolutely right. I deserve just as much as the backlash as this asshole. So I'll call myself an asshole. But honestly, it just comes down to being fucking honest with people. If there's something wrong, if you're trying to sell something, I get it. You want the best fucking bang for your buck, and you're probably saying to yourself, I'll never see this guy or girl again, So I'm just going to get the fucking highest price possible. I get it. But at the same time, just be fucking honest with people. You know, if there's something wrong with something you're selling, just let them know. And then, so yeah, there's a lot that I'm going to have to prepare for winter. I had some leaks, big fucking leaks. My batteries crapped right the fuck out. My solar panels weren't collecting any fucking energy. I was literally lighting the entire trailer with LED dollar store lights, candles, and having to heat it because there have been a few really cold nights with a buddy heater. Can't use my furnace, can't use the lights in here because I completely tapped out my battery. So, I mean, it's been night and day from, the van life. I had a souped up fucking sick as shit van. And it was, like I said, souped right to the nine. This is not. I have so much more issues when it comes to this than I did in the van. However, it's like Lady Justice comes back, living in a 3x3 fucking little van that was, I had everything there, to living in a 31-foot trailer. It's fucking wild. I have so much space. I have a couch that I can actually sit down on and be comfortable, which I didn't have for 2 years living in the van. I didn't have that luxury of just being able to come home or to come back and just flop myself on any kind of surface. And having that here is just you take this shit for granted. You really do. But, I've got to collect water. I've got to empty my black and gray water tanks from the trailer. I've got to worry about my solar, my energy, all this kind of things have been really weighing on me. And it's almost a daily stress. So I'm slowly, I know we're in midsummer. Actually, that's a bullshit lie. We just had the solstice. So we're at the beginning of summer. But I'm constantly thinking ahead. I'm thinking about what it's going to be like in the next 4 months. Am I going to have massive leaks? Is this going to am I going to mold the entire interior of this out? What do I need to do to be prepared for the same shitty winters that I've gone through living in a van for the last couple of years? And it weighs on you. It really does. So anybody who's living in an apartment, I get it. I hate your choice of living in an apartment, but at the same time, I totally get it. I love the fact that you guys don't have to think about, plumbing or electricity. You just get the fucking superintendent to take care of it. Showers, Christ, man. I do have a shower here, but I don't use it. I use it at work. I don't want to waste my fresh water. I don't want to turn on my hot water or my water tank. And I don't even use the hot water. When I do have a shower, and I'm putting that in the biggest fucking air quotes possible, usually what I do is I just fill up a huge fucking bucket and I bring it into the shower room and I just wash myself down and rinse off. I know it's very Neanderthalic. That's a new word that I just made up. But I don't give a shit. I'm not pumping my water pump. I'm not using the energy. I don't want to use my fresh water. I got to preserve this shit for when I really need it. So, there's a lot of luxuries to this lifestyle. I've got an incredible front lawn. I've got an incredible view. I've out of the 60, 70 days I've been here so far, I've probably had a fire 50 days out of those 70. No word of a lie. I have a fire pretty much every night. I cook on it. It keeps me warm. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Amazon. I don't have Disney or HBO. That is my Netflix, is building a fire and watching it. I know it sounds kind of, really simplistic, but I personally, I love this shit. It keeps me entertained. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing something, even building a fire, as simple as it is. I really enjoy it. And I can sit out there for hours on end, just listen to tunes or podcasts or things like that, and just sit by the fire and enjoy myself. Actually, last night, a fella pulled up with 2 big fucking Dungeness crabs. And my boss at work gave me a massive fucking pot because I didn't have a pot to boil crabs. These are big fuckers, not just the bodies, but with the legs, they're huge. So I needed a proper pot. He gave me a pot for free. A killer pot. Yeah. So I ate crabs last night, and not the genital kind, but god damn, it was good. And that's the difference that I've been kind of, I'm going to get onto the internet thing here in a second. But that's the thing. Is like I'm using my time. I'm creating memories. I'm really enjoying being alive and in the moment more than, spending my time with Jack Reaper or some fucking character in a movie or a Netflix show or something like that. I'm really enjoying, my physical time on this earth. And the reason why I say it like that is because I really do think we take our lives for granted. We don't know if tomorrow's coming. And imagine you like floating up to heaven and being like, what was my last day on earth? Oh, I was fucking sitting on a couch eating chips, watching a rerun of a show I've seen 400 times. Like, that's what you spent your time doing? Well, yeah, So anyway, again, to each their own. Everybody's got their own thing, and I respect it to some degree. You can spend your entire life watching reality shows, and it's totally up to you. You are your own God. But I'm just saying, man, like for me personally, I like to enjoy it. I like to live it. I like to challenge myself. And if it means just sitting in front of a fire, kind of collecting my thoughts, having the breeze run through, to me, that's living. But again, it's just my perception. And it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. So take it or leave it. I just hope that sometime or someday I can inspire at least one person to, really appreciate what they've got. And I don't mean financial wise. I mean, like, appreciate that, we can fucking walk, we can see, we can hear. These are things, again, people take for granted. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can, because your legs and your ears and your eyes are going to give out eventually, even if you make it that fucking long. Some people don't. So, even if you do live to be 80, 90, maybe even 100, all these features that, we take for granted are going to slowly disappear. So use them legs. Use that brain. Use that voice. So, and that being said, I got to talk a little bit about something internet-wise, podcast-wise, YouTube-wise, because I've been extremely absent. And I think this is really important because I know that I have had a number of people message me and kind of upset that I hadn't released anything for a while. I want to talk music. I'm going to kind of sum all this up here. I've been really detaching myself from the internet. I've noticed, at one point that I was kind of talking too much about my personal life, and people were kind of knowing a little bit too much, and that was my own fault. And I just kind of wanted to detach myself a little bit and have my own life to myself. And I don't mind talking to you guys about, some of the personal things I go through, mentally, relationship-wise, the things that I'm dealing with, whether it's, my employment or music-wise, all these types of things. I really don't mind talking about it, but sometimes there's too much. And sometimes I feel like I'm sharing too much. And honestly, I think everybody's sharing too much. And everyone's creeping on people's lives. And sometimes we just need a little part of us to keep to ourselves. And that nobody should really know about outside of, your loved ones, your close friends, your family. But again, some people just put their everything out on the internet. And that's kind of what I was doing. And this brings me right back to music. Because I'm going to get, this is a big one. This is a big one, folks. I hope you have stuck around this long because, this is kind of a big one. I got a couple shows coming up this summer. Actually, I'm flying back to Ontario to do a festival next month. I've got some shit planned for Vancouver here. And then I believe I'm going to be flying back to Ontario to do a festival in August, if my mental calendar serves me correct. Man, I don't know. I've been having a really hard time, man. Like, not just writing shit, but playing shit. I haven't really been enjoying playing my own music. I haven't really been enjoying talking about the things that I sing about. And I think I need a big revamp. I think I need to kind of collect myself again, get a little bit more in touch with who I am and what I want to not only accomplish, but what I want to say, what I want to, put out there. There's a lot of shit I have not talked about on the podcast, even though I've been brutally fucking candid. But there's a lot of things that I haven't talked about that I've kept to myself. Only a couple people know about. And I kind of like it that way, but at the same time, I get into this rhythm where I just start spewing, personal details. And I've been really having a hard time figuring out what's like fact and fiction, what's entertainment and what's real life. Some people are bopping their head to a song that I'm writing where I'm crying out for fucking help. And I feel that that's such a strange dichotomy of entertainment. I mean, again, it's cool. Like, there's a lot of artists out there that I really can connect with, and I can really, feel their passion, feel their pain, feel their love, or their, the state of their being. And I've just been trying to figure out that balance of like, do I want people to be fucking smiling and bopping their head to a song where I'm like really trying to cry out to people? Like the album that I came out with a couple years back, Chapter 1. Holy fuck, man. I revisited that recently just because I've got to prepare for, I've got to rehearse for these shows. So I'm kind of going over the songs and I'm like, oh my God. This is depressing shit, man. This should not be, somebody should have fucking called some kind of helpline for me, because it was so depressing and so fucking dark. So I really want to figure out what the difference between entertainment and like personal, exploration is. So I think going forward, I don't know where it's going to happen, because I will say my voice has changed quite a bit. I really enjoyed rehearsing the other day because I'm having to do different things now with my voice, now that my voice is getting deeper. I mean, I'm a smoker, and with age, your voice just tends to continue to drop. And it was really interesting kind of working with some of these old songs that I wrote in like my 20s and trying to sing it like I used to. It's near impossible without like blowing my fucking voice out. So it was really cool figuring out, problem solving, how to work around some of these issues and still deliver it with the same conviction, with the same kind of energy and the same, storytelling ability, but in a different octave. So I found that was really interesting. And I also think that, the songwriting process, once I started up, is going to be so much different from the stuff that you guys have been used to. So I'm really excited to kind of dive back into that. It's been great playing music again, and it's been great not advertising it online. I want to say right now, I really want to apologize to all my musical colleagues out there for not being as present as I have been in the past on your social medias and like liking and commenting and stuff on your pages. Honestly, the majority of things I watch now online is like nature shit. So I know it sounds lame as all fuck, and I still support y'all. I really do. But it's just not coming up on my feed. I don't care. I just, I support everyone's creative path and endeavors, what they want to do. But as far as like me being absent from, actually somebody messaged me. They're like, did you unfollow me? Because you haven't been liking any of my shit. And I was like, man, I guess my algorithms just completely changed because all I'm watching is alligators rip apart fucking buffalo and shit. And like, just weird fucking naturistic and lots of shark shit. I love my shark shit. But yeah, so to everybody that's a musician that hasn't been seeing me much on their feed, it's because my algorithm has completely changed. I like kind of detaching myself to that degree. But man, it's been interesting, and I got one more rant. This is a huge one, actually, and no, I'm going to save it for another time. I'm going to save this rant for another time because, it will end the podcast on a really sour note. So maybe what I'll do is I will do like a secret episode, like an unlisted episode, because I'm going to fucking go off the goddamn rockers on a couple people. A couple people really fucking pissed me off, like to the point where I'm going to call them out. And shit needs to change. We all need to start being adults and, having responsibility for our actions and our behaviors. And I'm going to fucking talk about that in like a secret episode or something. I don't think it's going to be good for the public because I'm going to go off the fucking rails, and it needs to be talked about. We're becoming a very soft and weak society, and we got to start toughening up and getting them hands dirty and not being so damn offended by everything. So I'm going to go on a massive rant. Actually, when I had that poll the other day, that was going to be the entire episode, and I'm glad you guys convinced me otherwise. I'm glad we got to talk like a little bit more lightly, considering it's been like a month since the last episode. So yeah, I'm going to do a massive fucking rant, and I'm going to have some drinks. I'm going to get some whiskey and some beers, and I'm going to smoke a ton of smokes because I really want to call out some people. And it's not just specific individuals. It's literally like the entire fucking Western human race. We need to stop being such fucking babies. So, that being said, I'm sorry to end on such a damn sour note, but I'm sure there's a number of you that listen that can agree with me. I know that the majority of my listeners, of you guys, we're all on the same page. And honestly, if you have come this far, 60, 70 episodes in, I can guarantee that the majority of you agree with me, or at least can see where I'm coming from. Some of you guys may not, and I do appreciate having that healthy dialogue. Healthy debates is a good thing. If you completely disagree with me, that's cool. I'm not going to get my fucking panties in a bunch. I don't give a shit. Actually, I do. I care about your opinion. I care about where you're coming from, and I will listen. And I will let you finish before I start talking. So, and I think we need to do that a lot more instead of cutting people off and just trying to get your fucking opinion out there rather than letting, it's a circle of life, folks, and everybody's different. We got to allow people to pass. So, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this month's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I know it's a little different. It's been a while. New setting, new circumstances. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself today. By the way, if you want to support me or the channel, or, because I got to buy some fucking new solar panels at some point and fucking broke as hell. But there's no pressure. If you do want to support me, you can go over to, all the links are in the bottom there. You could buy me a beer, or you can get yourself some merch. Got this Stay Dusty t-shirt right here. And honestly, this is going to be the last. Oh, this camera cut out because some asshole is fucking calling me. If you want to support me, man, it's probably a good thing I do this once a month. If you want to support me, all the links are down below. You can buy me a beer or get yourself some merch over at johnnynocash.com/bandcamp.com. And until next time, leave your comments below. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to hear this rant or not? If you don't want to hear it, I get it, because you might have a totally new opinion of me, and maybe I should keep it to myself. What do you guys think of today's episode? Do you guys have any kind of suggestions to give me on, whether it's energy perseverance? No, that's not the right word, but preserving my energy, my water tank. I can't collect the river water because it's nasty as fuck. If you guys have any suggestions, any solutions, by all means, leave them in the comments below, and I appreciate y'all. Until next time, you better stay dusty. I'm out. I'm living in a van playing Outlaw tunes. Life with Johnny No Cash. Smoking them smokes and drinking that booze. Life with Johnny No Cash. Where I go, how the fuck I'll know. I'm off the grid on dusty roads. There ain't no better way of eating beans.